Well, good morning, everybody. Wes McDonald here. And if you're watching on LinkedIn, you know me as the MPS Wolverine. And yes, the chops are coming back, everybody. We're getting on with the chops and the hair again. Not all of it's coming back, but enough to keep me happy. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you probably know me as West Wonders. And I share a lot of video content, helpful for business, hopefully helpful to you. And you might be watching on this on Facebook as well. We do have a group there for our Flat Rate Challenge. And I think we're over 50 members now, so thank you very much. Well, this is the first live stream that I have ever done. So you were experiencing it. And one of the first things I want to do is let you know kind of what I'm going to be doing every Friday. As you can see up top, it's the weekend review. So it's going to be my weekend review. And if you are contributing with comments and other things, then you have an opportunity to contribute as well. So just look for the comments box and you can throw your comments in as we continue to go through this today. The first thing I wanted to do was talk about something I'm really proud of, which is my leadership in the MPSA. I'm the president, as most of you know. And this week we had a really cool webinar talking about converged services. And this is probably one of the most important topics affecting our channel today, because it's also happening in the managed technology channel. I'm going to get to that in a few seconds. Let's see if I can change my view here. There we go. So if you haven't been over to the MPSA website, just head over to yourmpsa.org. And there's lots of good stuff there. You can see some of our members scrolling across there. You can learn about the different types of membership. And if you're a dealer, you actually can get 6 months free right now, because it's not about the money. It's about the contribution and the value that we can all bring together to, raise this industry forward. So in the webinar, let's see here if I can actually add something now. Maybe. In the webinar, I was very fortunate to have James Foxall. He's the president CEO over at Tiger Paw, and also had an opportunity to speak with Jeff Bendix again. Jeff, man, if you're out there and you see this either live or watch it later, I love you. You're always willing to step up and contribute to whatever topic I'm speaking on. And because of all that you do for our industry, there's a lot of things you can talk about. So thank you, man. Corey Oddbody, can't thank you enough. This is the second time we actually had an opportunity to do some stuff together. The first time was also on converged services. And it fascinated me, talking to you for the first time, learning how you started your business, kind of in audio video, and then started figuring out how to add these other services, right? I think it's really important for both channels and managed technology and also the managed print side of the world, the office equipment dealers, to look at the opportunities that converged services bring. So you can actually get a copy of that video if you're an MPSA member. And if you were on the actual live version of it, you can get a version of the presentation as well. The panel conversation between these really smart people. And I encourage you to do so. If you're not an MPSA member, just head over to yourmpsa.org and you can learn about membership, or just reach out to me or a whole bunch of the other folks that are, part of the organization. On the executive right now, I know Tanya Stone would be happy to talk to you. Big shout out to Tanya. And also Mark Hart. Mark, what you doing, man? Can't wait to talk to you on Monday. And just reach out to one of us and we'll tell you how to get started. I've been a member with the MPSA for more years than I can remember now. That's one of the questions I get asked is, well, what's the whiff and what's in it for me? And I cannot express to everyone in the office equipment channel just how absolutely cool and important the MPSA has been for me in my professional journey and growth. So, make sure you check it out. Interesting thing is we're talking about converged services, right? So, I speak with a lot of dealers and they say, well, it's totally different. The things that they do, they have different customer types, different size of customers. They're typically smaller. The sales cycle is different. So I'm not really sure if I want to get into it. And they do their own thing and they leave us alone. So, why should I bother? And I'm going to put something up here, I think. Let's see here. Yeah. This book here, one of the guys I really admire, and you'll see him a lot. If you don't have him on LinkedIn, make sure you reach out. His name is Bob Coppage. He is an IT services provider, but he's also a prolific writer and author. And he's put out a lot of books on something that you should really be paying attention to, especially if you're an office equipment dealer, which is this idea of co-managed IT services. And And it's pretty important. I mean, the first time I heard him speak on it, he actually did an interview with me along with another provider that's doing them. But essentially, co-managed IT services are just IT services, but they're selling to bigger customers. So instead of the typical customer base that they sell to, they're kind of working with these larger companies to augment or assist those IT departments to help them do a better job. In some cases, that could be taking away roles and responsibilities that they don't really want to do or aren't that good at, but it is really this partnership and this teamwork. And the reason it's important for us in the Office Equipment channel is because that's our wheelhouse, that customer base that they're now selling into with co-managed IT services. They're coming in there to help. So just letting you know that we see these things, I don't know, once every 10 or 15 years in which these channels start to converge, and it's happening again. Those that are old enough on the call, remember a day when the copier world and the print world were completely separate. So you could go into an account and there'd be an HP rep selling printers, there'd be a Xerox rep selling copiers, and then the reps would go out for lunch together because they didn't compete. Well, that's not the case anymore. That's completely changed. So I encourage you to have a look at that book. You can find it on Amazon. It will give you some really good background on what they're trying to do there. He's got another great book too, which can help you to understand the basics of being an MSP. So if you're an Office Equipment dealer and you're looking for some things there, go for it. Check it out. You can learn some of the basics and figure that out. And of course, you can always check out the webinar that we did for the MPSA. Jeff and Corey and James were so kind to share their experience with offering converged services and being able to do it right. Yeah, the second thing I better talk about is this flat rate challenge, which is coming up. So thank you to all our sponsors. One of the things that really surprised me is that these live streams do take a lot of work behind the scenes, and a lot of work that people don't necessarily see. And it doesn't just take time, but it also takes money. So the sponsors were really good to be able to help us out. You can see a bunch of their logos up there right now. We couldn't do it without you. So thank you very much. If there's someone on this list you don't recognize, I encourage you to look them up because they are all doing things to help in this flat rate journey that we're all moving through together today. We're going to have some sneak peeks. So let me see here if I can get up the dates. All right. So April 12th, 14th, and 16th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, if you want to mark your calendars. I'll be online with Kenneth Edmonds. We'll be live streaming and just giving some sneak peeks about what's ahead. The actual live stream for the challenge doesn't start until the 19th, but we'll give you some background, let you know who some of the guests are, give you some more details on what the topics are going to be. So make sure you mark down those dates, put them in your calendar. You can actually just watch it here on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or anywhere really that you can actually broadcast. So make sure you do that. All right, some news. This was really interesting. I read about this earlier in the week, and if people aren't paying attention to it, I think you probably should. DP1 International has been around for a long time, and they've done a really good job of providing, parts and refurbished printers and stuff for the managed print services world. And just recently this week, they announced that they are now an IT solutions company. So they are absolutely moving into this converged services world. So if you ever thought that it wasn't happening, we usually see these things sometimes both at the dealer level, at the partner level, and at the OEM level, right? And to see Depot moving into this, like, kudos and congratulations for the big move, because I really do believe that it's essential and important these days. And for those of my friends that are actually in the managed technology world, you may want to check them out, especially if you're looking at getting into some kind of management services, because they do it all. So if you're looking at printers or other technology stuff, some pretty cool news. And certainly, if there's any other news that people saw this week that actually want to share, go ahead, put it in the comments, and I'll make sure that we discuss it at some point in the live stream this morning. What else do we have? Well, the weekend is coming. So today is Friday. I'm going to start doing these every Friday. And I am going to be taking some time off to do some fishing. I can't believe it. The weather yesterday made me very sad. It was completely sunny, 21 degrees Celsius, and in Fahrenheit, I guess, pretty close to 80 degrees. I mean, it was like summertime out there yesterday. And little bit cloudy out today, but it looks like the weather's going to pick up tomorrow. So you can definitely catch me fishing on the lake this weekend as I do some stuff around the yard. I've been so busy, and I know everyone has been, that 2021 has seemed to have really just kicked it into high gear. In 2020, I'll be honest, that was a tough year for me. I know it was for a lot of my friends in the Office Equipment channel. And who do we have here? A Facebook user says, love the blog, West. Well, that's great. I appreciate that. And I will continue to write the blogs that I do for the industry. So for anyone else, if there's some good things that you'd like to share about what's happening in 2021, please do. Like I said, 2020 was a bit of a kick in the teeth, and 2021, I just cannot believe how much things have picked up. We're moving again. The Office Equipment channel is coming back, baby. And for those that said Managed Print is dead, you couldn't have been more wrong. All of the dealers that I work with training on flat rate programs, I work with dealers all over the world, some in Australia, South Africa, in the United States. Their businesses are picking up steam, and some of them are starting to do it in very different ways, obviously, the ones that I work with on the flat rate programs, but things are picking up again. Those of my friends that are in the Office Equipment channel that invested years ago in managed technology practices, man, are they having a good time right now. I have seen so many of these dealers tell me that their managed technology revenues now, given kind of a bump and a kick, if you will, thanks to the pandemic, are actually equal to or higher than their managed print and office equipment revenue. So just pause and think about that for a second. They started that investment years ago, and now it's starting to pay off. Hey, what's up, bud? All right, Kenneth. Interesting to see how things are coming together in the industry. It certainly is, my friend. I can't actually believe it. We've seen a lot of acceleration in the industry, and Kenneth and I are both really happy to be a part of that with the 10-day challenge that is coming up. As most people know, that at least if you know me on LinkedIn, I've been really passionate about either seat-based billing or flat rate models for managed print for a lot of years now. And I don't even know how long ago it was the first time I spoke on it. Maybe somebody can tell me, send me an email or message the first time they actually saw me on stage speaking about the flat rate model. And, it certainly did take some time to take off. There are conditions for everything. And in the early days, although the model made sense, and although customers wanted it, most of the dealers in the Office Equipment channel didn't have the pain to need to do it. And unfortunately, thanks to the pandemic, we've all been through a lot of pain. And I've been so busy working with dealers now on the flat rate program because of those conditions all coming together. So if you're not on the flat rate program, and if you are not looking at getting into flat rate, big shout out to Earl Everson, man. You are knocking it out of the park with your flat rate program. I get so inspired and fired up every time I see you post a video about a new win. I get so fired up when I'm talking with my customers, especially when they have that first win against a competitor with a flat rate model, when they actually knock it out of the park and for the first time realize that it's real, that it's not just a concept or some other thing, right? So it is absolutely time for you to get involved in this. And if you're not involved in this today, then certainly you should be. Obviously, one of the easiest ways to start, I'll just put the link up there on the bottom, just register for it. Ken and I are going to be giving away for 10 days free advice, and we're going to have experts and guests throughout the 10-day challenge, and you don't have to pay a cent. All you have to do is contribute an hour of your time every day to learn about the different aspects of the flat rate model. And I really encourage you to sign up here, because you can see it on LinkedIn, you can see it on Facebook, or you can even see it on YouTube. But if you register, you'll get reminders every day, so you can actually book it in your calendars. And you can also do comments in there just as you would on any of the other channels. So make sure you write that down and register it. And what's Ken say here? Even if they aren't interested, they should attend the challenge to see what their competition will be doing. Well, I would agree with you on that, Ken. That's one of the things that I've done when I'm doing roundtables and helping dealers. Some strictly want to know how to sell against it. They want to find out how the model works, so that when they're competing against it, that they can talk to it with some level of expertise. Flat rate isn't for everybody, right? cost per page isn't for everybody, but you can be guaranteed that if you're trying to sell against something, you'd really better understand the model. And you can see me grinning a bit here because I'd say good luck to you anyway, but it's possible. So even if that's a really good ad, Ken, even if you don't want to sell it, just join the challenge and try and figure out how you can sell against it. Oh, one of my favorite people in the industry, man. Sam, how are you, buddy? I'm looking forward to seeing it, he says. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you on there. Sam is one of the kindest and smartest people that I've ever known in the industry. Always willing to have a conversation, always willing to share ideas, good guy to bounce things off. So, and really doing some cool stuff. I really like, Sam, watching some of the stuff that you do on a volunteer basis as well, giving back, that even in these hard times, that doesn't stop us from sharing some of our, success and goodwill, even in hard times. So bless you, man. Looking forward to seeing you there. Yeah. So for some of the sponsors on there, like I said earlier in the broadcast, I couldn't believe how fast those spots went out. It's because everybody is really looking at flat rate as the time is now, that this isn't a future, thing. And I can tell you right now, and Ken can tell you right now, we're working with dealers that are actually building models and going to the marketplace and winning with flat rates. So this isn't just something to learn about and maybe put in your back pocket. It's ready for execution. One of the partners that you can see on here at the bottom, Great America, worked with them years ago to build an actual finance model to be able to deliver on the flat rate program. So it does exist. You can even finance what you need to under the agreement to be able to facilitate that program. Nexera, they do a phenomenal job with their software, being able to help you to cost and be able to quote with confidence on a flat rate program to know that you're actually going to make money, right? Tiger Paw Software, watch out for these guys, man. I'm telling you, something big coming in October. I can't really talk too much about it, but they're doing great things to make sure that office equipment dealers and others are going to be able to do both their office equipment business and also their managed technology practices together. Predictive Insights, if anyone doesn't know, Sean Cashmere and Ed McLaughlin, they have a suite of products, and they're both phenomenal experts. So if you need some help with anything, I'd recommend that you check them out, right? Clover Imaging, what could I say? First distributor on planet Earth to actually offer a flat rate wholesale price, right? So, they are stepping up to the plate, and cannot thank them enough for sponsoring, here. Some new ones, the 20. If you're in the office equipment channel, you may not have heard of them. And I think you'd better because they have a plethora of expertise on the managed technology side of the world and can help you to make sure that you do it right in the first place. And Pulsar 360, Full Circle Solutions, man, I'm telling you again, another managed technology provider, which you are going to learn to love as we move through the live stream. And Carto Suite, so you know me, I'm a big fan of assessments. They do some amazing assessment software, which you can also use for TCO and quoting in this world. And Melissa Whitaker, everyone knows Melissa. She is a powerhouse on the sales side. So, thank you very much. And if I miss anyone on that list, I apologize. It is a live stream, but, just so grateful for, everything that you guys are going to be doing and helping us. I think that's it. I just want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in on my first ever live stream. Looks like we've gone live for 19 minutes and, I didn't seem to break anything. So, Sam, again, thanks. Looking forward to seeing you. And for everybody else, make sure you do register here. Where's my banners? Make sure that you register and keep those dates open for the 12th, 14th, and 16th for some sneak peeks and behind the scenes stuff as we move forward. And register here, flat-rate.mykajabi.com/10-day challenge. And of course, the easier way to do that is just message me or Ken. We'll make sure that you get an opportunity to be able to see that. So happy Friday, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll talk to you next week.